First contact catastrophe. The ESV horizon cuts silently through the void at the edge of the Kuiper Belt, its advanced sensors probing the darkness for anything of interest. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge, her keen eyes fixed on the holographic display, showing a peculiar object suspended in space, an angular metallic structure approximately 20 meters long with pulsing geometric patterns that seemed to shift and change as they observed it. Analysis, she asked, never taking her eyes off the display. Dr. Elias Reeves, the ship's chief xenorchaeologist, studied his readings with growing excitement. It's artificial, Captain. Composed of materials not on our periodic table. The energy signature is like nothing we've ever encountered. I believe we're looking at non-human technology. First contact, Maya whispered, her voice a mixture of awe and apprehension. The Horizon's crew worked methodically to secure the artifact within a containment field and bring it aboard for further study. The object remained dormant throughout the process, its pulsing patterns maintaining a steady rhythm. I've isolated what appears to be a data interface, Dr. Reeves reported after 12 hours of intensive analysis. With your permission, I'd like to attempt to access it using our quantum processors. Maya hesitated, considering protocols and risks, but curiosity won out. Proceed, but maintain isolation protocols. At the first sign of trouble, cut the connection. The science team connected their systems to the artifact. For several minutes, nothing happened. Then the object's patterns accelerated, shifting from a cool blue to a vibrant crimson. Before anyone could react, a pulse of energy surged through the ship's systems, temporarily disabling their communications. What happened? Maya demanded as emergency systems came online. Dr. Reeves looked up from his console, face pale. It transmitted something, a signal, directed toward the galactic core. 4 days later, as the Horizon was returning to Earth with the now dormant artifact, Lieutenant Sarah Corey's voice cut through the ship's normal operations. Captain, multiple objects detected approaching from deep space. Velocity, impossible. They're moving at approximately 1.2 times light speed in normal space. That violates everything we know about physics, Maya said, racing to the bridge. Are you sure? Confirmed, Captain. Whatever they are, they're not using any propulsion system we're familiar with, and they're decelerating rapidly. ETA to Earth orbit, 6 hours. The warning reached Earth too late. The alien fleet, 17 massive vessels shaped like elongated diamonds, emerged from what appeared to be localized space-time distortions directly in high Earth orbit, bypassing all outer system defenses. Their attack began without warning or demands. Energy weapons sliced through military satellites and the International Space Defense Platform like they were made of paper. Ground-based defense systems managed to destroy one alien vessel before being systematically eliminated by precision strikes. Within hours, alien dropships were deploying forces in strategic locations around the globe. The United Nations Emergency Council gathered in a fortified bunker beneath the Swiss Alps, frantically coordinating what remained of Earth's military forces. General Isaac Okonkwo, commander of the UN Defense Forces, surveyed the tactical displays with growing frustration. They're methodical, I'll give them that. Classic military doctrine, eliminate command and control, then force capitulation through strategic occupation. But they haven't attempted communication, noted Dr. Elena Sorokin, the UN's chief xenolinguist. No demands, no ultimatums. This isn't a negotiation, it's an extermination. Then we give them something they don't expect, said Admiral Wyzong, his weathered face grim with determination. If they want a textbook response, let's tear up the textbook. What followed would forever change humanity's standing in the galaxy. Rather than concentrating forces for a conventional counterattack, Earth's remaining military units dispersed into small, mobile strike teams. Civilian hackers worldwide launched distributed attacks against what they could detect of alien communications. Manufacturing facilities abandoned normal production to create jury-rigged weapons based on quickly analyzed alien technology. The aliens had expected humanity to break and run, or to mass forces for desperate last stands. Instead, they encountered a species that treated adaptation as a way of life. In Jakarta, a university physics department reconfigured a particle accelerator into an improvised energy weapon, destroying an alien command post before being obliterated. In Kenya, park rangers adapted anti-poaching tactics to hunt alien infantry with devastating effectiveness. Across North America, civilian drone enthusiasts reprogrammed their machines to swarm alien aircraft, creating enough disruption for military units to strike. The alien commander, Supreme Overlord Zexus of the Galactic Concord, could not comprehend the tactical displays before him. His mandibles clicked in agitation as he reviewed the casualty reports. Impossible, he chittered to his war council. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Their weapons are primitive. Their defenses should have fallen within hours. His chief strategist, Vexer, displayed a hologram of human soldiers disassembling captured alien weapons, modifying them with crude tools, and then using them against their creators with devastating effectiveness. They adapt too quickly, Vexer explained. They don't fight according to any doctrine we recognize. Each defeat teaches them. They learn from every engagement, sometimes within minutes. Then we will overwhelm them with numbers, Zexus declared. Bring in the second wave. We will darken their skies with our ships. Even as he gave the order, human scientists led by Dr. Maya Chen, now returned to Earth, were analyzing debris from destroyed alien vessels in underground bunkers. They studied alien technology, identifying principles that would have taken humanity decades to discover independently. It's not that they're more advanced, Maya explained to General Okonkwo during an emergency briefing. They're just more refined. Their technology followed a completely different evolutionary path than ours. They focused on efficiency and elegance. We focused on resilience and adaptability. Can we use that against them? Isaac asked. Maya's smile was fierce. We already are. Their systems are too specialized, optimized for specific tasks with minimal redundancy. When something unexpected happens, they don't have backup systems the way we do. In orbit, the Horizon had transformed from a research vessel to a makeshift command ship, coordinating Earth's increasingly effective counterattacks. The artifact that had started the war now sat in the ship's most secure containment field as scientists worked feverishly to understand its secrets. We've cracked their basic communication protocols, Dr. Reeves reported, exhaustion evident in his voice after working for 3 days straight. They call themselves the Galactic Concord, a federation of 23 species that has existed for over 15,000 years. And they attacked without attempting communication because, Captain Chen prompted, because we tripped an automated defense system in the artifact. It identified us as a potential threat species based on our technological growth rate. They've been culling dangerous emerging civilizations for millennia. Maya's expression hardened. They've never faced humans before. On the 12th day of what was already being called the First Contact War, the aliens launched their largest assault yet. Thousands of ships emerged from faster-than-light transit points throughout the solar system, converging on Earth in a three-dimensional pincer movement designed to overwhelm any possible defense. They weren't prepared for what awaited them. The first wave encountered a cloud of stellar debris, the remains of human stations and alien ships from earlier battles that had been seeded with quantum mines. As their automated systems worked to navigate the debris field, the mines detonated in precisely calibrated sequences, creating cascading disruptions in the aliens' formation. The second wave faced something even more unexpected. Hijacked alien vessels piloted by humans who had mastered alien control systems in days, rather than the years it should have taken. These captured ships transmitted authentication codes that confused alien targeting systems long enough for Earth's remaining defense platforms to target critical systems. When the third wave arrived, they found not the broken, demoralized civilization they expected, but a unified global defense force that fought with desperate creativity and startling effectiveness. Human ships deliberately took damage to lure alien vessels into ambush positions. Crude but effective nuclear weapons were detonated in precisely calculated positions to create electromagnetic pulses that disrupted alien sensors. In the Concorde command ship, Supreme Overlord Zexus watched in disbelief as the tactical display showed more red indicators than blue. Years of warfare compressed into days. Strategies that had conquered dozens of civilizations faltering against a species that refused to accept defeat. How is this possible? He demanded of no one in particular. His chief intelligence officer, Kraz, answered anyway. They are not fighting according to any recognizable doctrine. They improvise constantly. Our predictive algorithms cannot anticipate their strategies because they create new ones in real time. No species adapts this quickly, Zexus insisted. This one does, Vexor replied, mandibles clicking in what might have been admiration. And we have made a grave error. The artifact we detected was not their attempt to access Concorde technology. It was one of our automated sentinel beacons that they discovered by accident. Zexus stared at the tactical display, watching as another formation of his ships was systematically dismantled by a human counterattack that should not have been possible with their level of technology. We have declared war, he said slowly, on the wrong species. The human response. In the 3 weeks since first contact, humanity had transformed. Global manufacturing had been completely reconfigured for war production. University research labs worked alongside military facilities, breaking down alien technology and integrating it with human designs at an unprecedented pace. They're coming back, General Okonkwo announced to the assembled leaders in Earth's unified command center. The holographic display showed Concorde reinforcements arriving at the edge of the solar system, a fleet 3 times larger than the initial invasion force. They're learning too, he continued. This time they're advancing methodically, clearing each sector before moving inward. No more rushing directly to Earth. Admiral Jung studied the tactical display. They still think like a conventional military. They'll expect us to have fortified key strategic positions. The Moon, Mars, the Jovian stations. Then let's not be where they expect, Dr. Sorokin suggested. What if we abandon those positions entirely? The strategy that emerged was quintessentially human, seemingly irrational yet devastating in its effectiveness. Earth's remaining military forces executed a fighting retreat, abandoning positions just before alien forces arrived to seize them. Automated defenses were left behind, programmed with adaptive algorithms that learned from each engagement, forcing the aliens to commit increasingly larger forces to overcome them. Meanwhile, small, fast human craft executed hit-and-run attacks against alien supply lines and communication relays. The aliens, accustomed to facing enemies who either stood their ground or fled in disarray, struggled to counter an adversary that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. We cannot predict them, Kraz reported to Supreme Overlord Zexus as the Concorde fleet finally reached lunar orbit, having taken 3 times longer than projected to secure the outer system. Their tactics change constantly. They've developed countermeasures to technologies they shouldn't even understand. They're using our own weapons against us with modifications that our engineers claim shouldn't be possible. Zexus had long since abandoned his confidence, his mandibles twitching in what his species recognized as deep anxiety. Have the Cultural Analysis Division made any progress understanding them? Vexor, now elevated to senior advisor after correctly predicting several human countermoves, displayed a holographic model of human history. We've been analyzing their information networks. Their species evolved on a planet with multiple apex predators and extreme environmental variations. They developed not just intelligence but extreme adaptability. Many species evolve under harsh conditions, Zexus countered. Not like this, Vexor insisted. Their entire history is one of constant warfare against each other, driving technological innovation at rates that violate all Concorde developmental models. What takes most species centuries, they accomplish in decades. What's more, they thrive on chaos. Where we seek harmony and predictability, they embrace disorder and change. On Earth, the Unified Command had relocated to a mobile headquarters that constantly shifted position to avoid detection. Captain Chen, now serving as special advisor on alien technology, presented her latest findings to the War Council. "We've cracked their FTL principles," she announced, displaying a holographic model of the alien drive system. "They're creating localized distortions in space-time rather than entering hyperspace the way our theoretical models predicted." "Can we replicate it?" Admiral Zhang asked. "Better," Maya replied with a grim smile. "We can disrupt it. Dr. Reeves has developed a method to generate a resonance field that destabilizes their drive signatures. Any ship attempting to create a space-time distortion within the field will find their drives failing catastrophically. Deploy it immediately," General Okonkwo ordered. "Position the emitters to cut off their retreat path." The trap was set as Earth appeared to finally break. All remaining orbital defenses were suddenly powered down. Emergency broadcasts pleading for mercy were transmitted on all frequencies. The Concorde fleet, sensing victory at last, moved into low Earth orbit to begin the final phase of their conquest. Supreme Overlord Zexus should have been celebrating. Instead, a sense of foreboding had settled over him. "This is too easy," he chittered to his War Council. "They fought with such determination, such creativity. Why would they suddenly surrender?" His question was answered as the resonance field activated, surrounding the Concorde fleet in a sphere of distorted spacetime. Simultaneously, Earth's surface blazed with energy as thousands of previously concealed weapon emplacements opened fire, not with simple projectiles or energy beams, but with highly focused gravitational distortion weapons reverse-engineered from Concorde technology. The alien fleet found itself trapped, unable to escape using their FTL drives and taking devastating hits from weapons they had believed humans incapable of developing for at least a century. "This was a trap," Kraz exclaimed, mandibles flaring in alarm. "They feigned weakness to lure us in." Zexus watched as his mighty armada was systematically dismantled by a species that, according to all Concorde models, should have been easy to subjugate. More disturbing was the realization that the humans weren't simply destroying every ship. They were selectively targeting command vessels, while leaving escape routes open for others. The message was clear. They could annihilate the Concorde forces, but were choosing not to. "Open a communication channel," Zexus ordered, his voice subdued. "To whoever leads these humans." The holographic display shifted, showing a diverse group of humans standing in what appeared to be their command center. General Okonkwo stepped forward, his bearing dignified and confident despite the weeks of brutal warfare. "This is General Isaac Okonkwo of the United Earth Defense Forces. Are you prepared to discuss terms?" "Terms?" Zexus chittered in surprise. "You would negotiate rather than destroy us." "Unlike you," Isaac replied evenly, "we don't begin relationships with extermination. We want to understand why you attacked and ensure it never happens again. But we're not interested in your extinction, just your respect." 6 months later, Captain Maya Chen stood on the observation deck of the newly christened ESV Ambassador, Earth's first true interstellar vessel, incorporating a hybrid of human and Concorde technology. Beside her stood Vexer, now serving as the Concorde's diplomatic liaison to humanity. "Your people continue to surprise us," Vexer said, watching as engineering teams made final adjustments to the ship's drive systems. "You've improved our technology in ways our engineers claimed were impossible." "That's what you still don't understand about humans," Maya replied. "Telling us something is impossible just sounds like a challenge." The treaty that had ended the First Contact War had shocked the wider Galactic Concorde. For the first time in its 15,000-year history, the Concorde had been forced to acknowledge a new species as equals rather than subjects. More shocking was humanity's demand for reparations in the form of technological exchange, rather than territory or resources. "The Concorde Council remains concerned about your species' rapid development," Vexer admitted. "Some fear what humanity might become in a century or two." Maya smiled, watching as the stars stretched outside the viewports during the ambassador's first FTL test. That's the difference between us, Vexer. You fear the unknown. We explore it. As the ship accelerated toward a future no one could predict, Maya reflected on the cruel irony of the Concorde's mistake. They had attacked humanity believing they were preventing a future threat, never realizing that only by attacking had they created one. Humanity had been content to explore its own solar system before being dragged into galactic politics by an alien coalition that had grievously underestimated them. You know, she said thoughtfully, there's an old saying on Earth, never start a fight, but always finish it. Vexer's mandibles clicked in what Maya had learned was amusement. I believe the Concorde has learned that lesson well. The question is, what will humanity teach us next? The ambassador continued its journey into the vast unknown, carrying with it a species that the galaxy was only beginning to understand, and would never underestimate again.